Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm doing fine, thank you. Okay, as I told you before, that we will start our lessons with the grammar section from Unit 9 and 10. Go to your booklet, open it at page 21, and let's start with our grammar from Unit 9, which is passive voice. But before we start with the passive voice form, let's make a very quick revision for the present continuous tense. Do you remember it? Of course you do. When and how to use present continuous. Present continuous is usually used to describe actions that are in the middle of happening at the moment of speaking, like I'm talking to you right now, I'm reading, I'm speaking. These are actions that are happening at the same time I'm talking, so I use present continuous to describe them. Or it can be used to describe our plans in the near future, like for example, I'm throwing a party this weekend, but of course I can't because of the coronavirus anyways. For example, I'm seeing the doctor tonight, I'm meeting my friends this weekend. So these are plans for near future that I can describe using present continuous. Okay, how to use present continuous? As you all know, any sentence must start like this: subject, verb, and object. Here we go. The subject could be I, could be singular or plural. Present continuous verb must be formed from two things, which is verb to be in the present and verb with ing. I as the subject, okay, takes am, okay, verb to be plus verb with ing. Singular subjects like she, he, it, or Anna, Adam, whoever, takes verb to be formed as is plus verb with ing. And finally plural subjects takes are plus verb with ing, like they are playing, they are enjoying their time, or whatever. Tamam? Okay, examples to make it more clear. Okay, I'm working on this project in the meanwhile. I is the subject, of course. Let's analyze the sentence. I is the subject, I'm working is the verb. It's formed from two words, verb to be in present and the verb work with ing. On this project is the object. In the meanwhile is the expression that shows when the action is happening, which is right now, while at the same time we're talking. Okay, if the subject was singular, like Adam is doing his homework at the moment, here we go, Adam is the subject again, is doing is the verb, and his homework is the object. At the moment is the expression that shows when the action is happening. It tells me that it's in the present continuous. If the subject was plural, like the students are enjoying their time right now, here we go, the verb to be is formed as are, goes along with plural subjects. As you can notice, all these sentences started with the subject that is correct: subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. Here we go. These are sentences that I call active voice, which is normal sentences formed in normal way, same elements, subject, verb, and object. What if I didn't want to start my sentence with the subject and instead I wanted to start my sentence with the object because it's either more important or something? There are cases that you don't have or you don't want to mention the subject at the beginning of a sentence, and these cases could be like if we don't know who the subject is, we don't know who did the action, so there's no need to mention it or start with it because we don't know who they are. Okay, sometimes we don't start with the subject because it's already known for everyone, like we were created by Allah to worship him who created us, Allah. Everyone knows that, and that's why we don't have to start with the subject in this case. Sometimes the subject must or you want the subject to be kept as a secret. You don't want anyone to know who did that. Like, for example, if I go into your classroom and ask you who broke the window and you don't want to snitch your friend, you'd be like, the window was broken already, so you don't mention who did the action, and in that case you just keep the subject as secret and you start with the object. Okay, sometimes the object might be more important than the subject, and in that case you want to start with the object to focus on that. In these cases we use a form that is called passive voice form. In these forms we start our sentences with the object and instead of the subject, and leave the subject at the end of the sentence. So the passive voice form is the situation in which you show interest in the person or object that receives the action, rather than the person or object that performs the action. The one who receives the action is more important, and that's why you want to focus on that person. You want to start your sentence with, rather than the subject, which is the one who does the action. Okay, active voice sentences or active voice form sentences usually goes like subject, verb and object, while in the passive voice we said that we will start with the object. In that case we don't change the tense. You should remember that we don't change the tense, we only change the form of the verb, the form of the sentence. We change the shape, we change the form of the verb, and not the tense. Okay, generally passive voice sentences would be like object, verb to be, verb 3 plus by plus the subject, but in our lesson we're not going through all tenses, we're only going with present continuous tense, and let's work on it in details. Passive voice and present continuous. Active sentences usually go like this. Okay, subject, verb to be, verb with ing, and object. Verb to be could be formed is, am, or are, according to the subject, if it's plural, singular, or I pronoun. Okay, verb in present continuous usually have ing suffix at the end, and the object goes at the end of the sentence as usual. But in the passive voice form we usually start with the object. Here it goes at the beginning of the sentence. Now for the verb to be, it goes all the way down, but this time the object takes the lead. That's why it has to be appropriate or suitable for the object itself, whether it is singular or plural. As for the ing, I can't ignore it because it's continuous, so we add being. Okay, and the action itself would be in the past participle form, which is verb 3. As for the subject, if I still want to mention it at the end, I use it after by the subject again. Okay, active sentences usually go like subject, verb to be in the present, verb with ing, and the object. When I change them from active to passive form, I should start with the object, verb to be, being, verb 3 or past participle, and finally the subject. Let's make it more clear with examples. Example number 1, here we go. I am writing a poem right now. Okay, let's analyze the sentence. I is the subject, am writing is the verb, which is formed from verb to be in the present and the verb with ing. A poem is the object, and right now is the time indicator that tells me that this sentence is in present continuous. Okay, let's now change this sentence from active into passive. I should start with the object, of course. Excellent, here we go. A poem. Okay, am is verb to be, but a poem would not go along with am, so it takes is. A poem is. Okay, as for the ing, we add being. the verb or the action itself would be in verb 3 or past participle, so it'd be like written. So I'm writing is formed as is being written. And finally, by whom? By me, of course. But you can notice now that the subject I after by would be changed from subject pronoun into object pronoun. If I'm sure that you remember those, but if you don't, go back to your booklet at page 4 and study it again. So I am writing a poem right now, and here we go with right now. Would be like a poem is being written by me right now. Another sentence, here we go. My daughter is reading some stories at the moment. In this case, we have the subject. Here we go. My daughter is the subject, which is singular. Is reading is the verb. Some stories is the object, and it's plural at the moment is the expression. But now we will start with the object. Here we go. Some stories went all the way down. Is, okay, would be are, because the object now is in plural form. Okay, some stories are, of course the ing goes with being, and finally the action, which is read, which is the verb 3 from the irregular verb read. Okay, by my daughter, if I want to mention the subject, and at the moment my daughter is reading some stories at the moment, would be like some stories are being read by my daughter at the moment. Okay, another one. Here we go. The children are building a sandcastle right now. Okay, let's analyze it. Children is the subject and it's in plural form. Are building is the verb to be plus verb with ing. A sandcastle is the object and it is in a singular. It's a singular, and right now is the time indicator. It will be like a sandcastle. Here we go. The object goes all the way at the beginning of the sentence. A sandcastle is singular, so verb to be would be changed from are to is being, of course, for the ing, and finally the verb would be formed in the past participle form, which is built from the verb build. Built by the children right now. Okay, now let's take one sentence in the negative form. Here we go. We are not studying French at the moment. We, okay, let's analyze it. We is the subject. Are not studying is the object in the negative form. Here we go. Are not, verb to be plus not plus verb with ing. French is the object, which is singular at the moment. Let's make it into passive voice. French, let's start with the object. French singular is not, again, verb to be is followed with not, and being goes all the way down with the ing, and the verb study goes with past participle form, studied by us. The subject pronoun we is changed into object pronoun, which is us at the moment. For now, we have finished our lesson. You have to do this exercise and change these sentences from active into passive voice form. Please do it on your notebook. I'll read them for you for one time. She isn't drinking tea right now. All you have to do is to copy this sentence to your notebook, analyze it, subject, verb, object, and complement or whatever. Change it into passive voice by following the steps I have taught you. I'm cooking at the moment. The boys are playing video games. Andy is watering the plants right now. They are building a new hospital in our town. And finally, my brother and I are making pizza right now. Lucky them. Okay, so feel free to contact me anytime you need on my Instagram. You can check your booklet for more information at page 21, and good luck. Thank you very much. See you later.